What improved your quality of life so much, you wish you did it sooner? I started thinking of cleaning as resetting an area. After I cook I have to reset the kitchen. The little shift in perspective made me a much more neat person. Realizing that not everyone is judging me. Drinking way more water. This is mine too. I have way more energy and stopped drinking caffeine. My skin and hair have improved significantly. And I swear it improved my anxiety and OCD, although that one might be placebo, but, hey, I'll take it. Buying a lot of underwear and socks. Also, quitting drugs. Edit, to the people in the comments who are using drugs or wanna quit but can't. As someone who struggled with heroin addiction for a long time and finally quit and got my shit together, I highly recommend doing whatever it takes to get off whatever shit you're using, man. I know it's very hard during the first few months, but if you get yourself through that phase, you can see your life drastically improve in front of your eyes. And I assure you that's the best feeling ever. Highly recommend quitting 10/10. And yeah, buy a shit ton of socks and underwears. Really comes in handy. In that order. Always assuming people are doing things for a good reason. It sounds stupid but it helps. Someone cut you off in traffic? That's fine. They might be rushing to a hospital. Someone rushing around the store in a fit. They might be trying to rush to get supplies for their sick kids. Any day might be someone's best day or very worst day, so framing it this way avoid road rage and generally being an upset person. Edit. Thanks for the awards and glad this resonated. Someone cut you off in traffic? That's fine. They might be rushing to a hospital. I tell myself maybe they have to poop. Trying to get 8 hours of good sleep every night. 9 if your body doesn't feel rested with 8. Not everyone had the same sleep needs. Sucked at first to have to get 9 hours myself. But after some time feeling actually rested, my brain thanks me for it. Edit. Some people need less. Getting glasses. I put it off for way too long and only got around to seeing an optometrist when I failed the vision test at the DMV as I was trying to get my driver's license renewed a while back. I really didn't appreciate how much my vision had deteriorated or how much I was straining to focus on things until I got them. It was like going from an old CRT TV from the 90s directly to a top-of-the-line UHD display. I must have spent about an hour just walking around outside and staring at shit on that first day. Renewed my driver's license a few weeks back and had a come-to-Jesus moment when I realized I might not pass the vision test. Switched to a job where I have a consistent, balanced schedule. Has let me exercise again, socialize more and spend time on other hobbies. Cooking for myself, rather than relying on microwave meals. Eating better, healthier and cheaper at the same time. Saving up money. Once I had 6 months expenses saved, the pressure goes down so much. I can make good decisions instead of desperate ones. I don't get stressed about losing my job. I can schedule my bills every month without worrying about balances. A car repair bill doesn't faze me anymore like a wrench in the monthly cash flow. Life's just easier with money behind. Yep, I totally agree. Didn't realize how much stress it caused until I had that cash saved. I call it middle class fuck you money. It means I can stand up for myself at work a bit because I'm not terrified of not being able to pay bills for a few months. But not enough to quit working. Cutting off a toxic friend. After having cut off said friend, I felt that I could finally breathe without the stress of setting them off or getting into fights with them. I don't regret my decision at all. Hydrocortisone. I had an undiagnosed autoimmune disease where my adrenal glands don't make cortisol. And basically I was unable to catch my breath for months and my blood pressure was 0 and I'd get lightheaded from just standing. Took myself to the hospital where they shit me up with hydrocortisone and I immediately felt normal. Shit me up, doc. I'm feeling dizzy again. Weightlifting. I wish I had started weightlifting so much earlier. I look better, feel better and it's done wonders for my mental health. Any tips for someone who wants to start but feels completely lost in a gym? I have a little gym at my apartment, just some basics equipment and dumbbells, and really want to start weightlifting and losing weight. Edit. I did not expect to wake up to so many replies. Thank you everyone for your advice. It is greatly appreciated. Working 4 days per week, a 32-hour work week. Seriously, we should all be doing it. Quality of life is 1000x better. Edit. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for the awards. I just typed that off and went to bed. What a surprise. I work 4 10-hour days, but having that extra day off is so nice. The bummer is I work retail, so there are times where I work 8 days in a row, 80 hours or more, but then I'll have 3 to 6 days off. Finally getting a migraine preventative. I still get migraines, but not over half a month of being in pain. 3 times a month is better than 20 days. This will sound a bit dark, but it's ultimately not. Confronting my abusive parent. I'm 50 and I finally did it a few months ago. I no longer have a relationship with that parent. And doing it was very hard, very scary, and very rough. But as soon as I did it, I felt like an immense weight had been lifted from me. I had spent most of my adult life pretending to have a normal relationship with someone who physically and emotionally abused me throughout my childhood. It took years of therapy for me to even grasp how deeply that affected me or how much it cost me to keep it up. I just feel so free. I wish I had done this the second I was out the door of their house. But this will do. Losing weight. Went from about 225 down to 165 over the course of 2020. Took the opportunity to work on myself and I feel better than I have in years. It was hard work, but I've managed to keep off for the past year. So I'm hoping I can keep this going. Edit. Since the question was asked, I typed up a long-winded explanation of my diet. Figured it would be easiest to link it back here in case anyone else was interested. The long-winded explanation of my diet, https://www.reddit.com AskReddit comments s1s4h6/comment hscmj81 UTM source equals share and UTM medium equals web 2x and context equals 3. I'm down from 335 to 286 in 4 months. Long way to go, but even that has made me feel better than I have in a long time. Like you. I wish I had started sooner, but fuck it. My 30s will have to suffice as my prime years. Consciously practicing empathy. It's crazy how much lighter you can feel when you're not center stage. I learned that most things have very little to do with me, and that's a huge burden off of my shoulders. Having my own place. Eater. Thank you for my first award. I'll toast to it in my place with some wine while I paint. Have great night. Reddit. Eater 2. Whoa, almost 2k upvotes my first few months here. Thank you all so much. I lived in a little piece of shit. But it was my piece of shit. And I didn't have to answer to anyone for the first time in my life. So yes. Absolutely, I endorse this post. LASIK. My life is 10 times better without glasses. The surgery itself scared the shit out of me. But I am so glad I did it. Same. When the surgeon was messing with the flaps I nearly died. I didn't look up any videos of the process cause I probably would have chickened out. Reading. Luckily I did start reading early on, mostly in my early 20s. I'm 27 now. I've read so many books which have given me much more insight to the world and my own views. Especially my place in the universe. I mostly read biology books. But enjoy any realm of evidence-based science and some fiction here and there. Even the entire Bible 2 years ago. If anyone reads this, read. It's wonderful to know our minds can see lines and dots on paper and be able to decipher it. Just that concept alone makes me want to read. Also would like to add, for anyone who's wishing they read more than they do, don't get hung up on feeling like you should be reading classics or highbrow literature or whatever if that's not what you're into. Just read whatever interests you. Feel free to give up on that doorstop that you couldn't get past the 3rd chapter of and move on to something you can't put down. Sobriety. Seconded. More time. More money. No hangovers. Lost weight. Not drinking literal poison that's going to give me stomach cancer or heart failure one day. And you get to find out who the true assholes in your life are. I stopped caring about my job. I still go every day and I'm good at it, but I don't care anymore. Other things interest me now. 13 years of obsessing over work, what a waste. I learned this at 31 thanks to a great manager and mentor. It's really a paradigm shift when you have someone to teach you that it's okay to not operate an 11/10 and that 6/10 is better than most, and to go home and enjoy your life. Actually listening instead of waiting for your turn to speak. You understand so much more. And people have so many nice things to say about you when you just listen. I kind of do the opposite, where I listen pretty thoroughly and then forget that I need to respond. Hysterectomy. I spent most of 2 decades extremely sick and miserable. Best thing I ever did solely for my own self. Lost mine to cancer. But holy crap, it was the best thing ever nonetheless. Cutting out toxic family. Followed by friends and acquaintances. Life is too short to let people drain you. I'm always polite. But that doesn't mean you own my time or attention with your negativity. It's amazing how much happier I am decades later. B-day and squatty potty. Pooping away from home makes me feel like a barbarian now though. Honestly, hanging out in the advice communities of Reddit. It brings me a bit of peace knowing that there are people out there that are going through the same things that I do. Edit. Oh geez, this blew up more than anticipated. It's really cool seeing everyone below discuss their experiences as well as their favorite subreddits. I'm a little basic in that regard since I usually linger around our amity soul and our relationship advice lol. The most freeing advice I've ever been given is that every single person on earth thinks everyone else has their life figured out. But that none of us actually do. Even if you have the perfect job, family, home, etc. A good mattress. Followed by a good pillow. We went down the rabbit hole of mattress reviews on YouTube seriously. You can get lost out there for more hours than you think. But settling on our new one we made the right choice. A good pillow was soon to follow. As once the rest of your body is comfortable you know fast if your pillow is right. The combo of the two if great though. I stopped putting other people and their needs before my own well-being and sanity. Pouring from an empty pitcher is exhausting and when I finally put myself first I felt free. Meditation. The hardest thing you will ever do is sit still and have a quiet mind. I have had it. This is true. Playing stupid. I was raised to think that I had to have all the answers. All the time. When I started working my reviews frequently mentioned time management as an area I needed to improve in because I was so busy giving other people the answers they needed, sometimes to simple questions that I neglected my own work. A senior co-worker told me one day, it's not your job to have all the answers. You only need to have the answers you need to get your work done. It's okay to play stupid. Don't do their work for them. A previous manager evaluated his engineers' performance importance by keeping track of who had the most cubicle traffic. If lots of people hovered over someone's cube looking for advice help suggestions, that would be his most valuable engineer, and deserved the best bonus. A good quality, king-sized mattress. Drinking seltzer water while drinking beer. Your brain thinks it's alcoholic because it comes in a can and it's carbonated. So you'll pound those suckers right down between beers. Keeps you hydrated. And I've never had a hangover while doing this. Probably makes you really borborygmic though. Moving out of the country and leaving everyone and everything behind. It's been very quiet and peaceful and I've never felt better. Not drinking during the work week. Not about that our crippling alcoholism lifestyle. I stopped giving family money. I was always broke. For the life of me I couldn't figure out why. Until I sat down and broke down my spending. I was giving $300 $500 a month to family. Once I stopped I was able to pay my bills easily and never overdrafted. Getting sober from alcohol. I was drinking so much my body hurt 24/7. I never get tired of not feeling like garbage. Edit. Thank you for the kind words everyone. Our Stop Drinking is a fantastic resource and community for anyone interested in stopping or cutting back on alcohol. There's lots of programs as well. I have had success with Sober Faction which is searchable on Facebook but it's likely not for everyone. Smart is another non-theistic program. No matter what your goal, there is support out there for you. I wouldn't wit. Heal thyself. Hail thyself. Buying an electric toothbrush. Haven't gotten a new cavity since. And my dentist said I shrunk the start of one. Having my teeth fixed. I have an appointment next week. I'm so nervous. My teeth are broken and stained. And crooked. I've never been to the dentist regularly, probably have gone maybe 3 or 4 times my whole life. But this is my New Year's resolution to finally do something about it. Edit. Thank you for all the words of encouragement and easing my mind. Reddit is great like that sometimes. Everybody here writes something amazing. But the first thing I thought of was my dishwasher. Electric blanket. I'm literally scared to death that one day I'll wake up in flames if I buy that. Just saved the thread. I have been struggling with depression for a while now and this is possibly one of the lowest points in my life so far. But some of the stories and suggestions here have given me some hope. Thank you all. Finally setting my pride aside and working up the courage to talk to my doctor about my symptoms of depression. Got put on a medication to try and have adjusted the dose. It's been like night and day. I never knew being miserable all the time wasn't normal. My relationships have improved as well because I don't have crazy mood swings. Social media. Around November 2020, I deleted all social media. I did it temporarily at first but liked it so much I just don't even think about it anymore at this point. I have felt much happier and feel like I am living more in the moment since. It's also great not knowing what anyone is up to and I feel that I have to reach out to people more and when catching up things are a total surprise so it feels more genuine. Eater, since it's been mentioned in a few comments, I don't view or use Reddit as any other social media, as I use it minimally and mostly for hobbies I'm interested in and have never felt the drain I did from other platforms. So for the sake of the wording I used all social media aside from Reddit. Some gotta tell him. Deleting Twitter. Mental health improved dramatically as a result. Also, taking vitamin D supplements because I live in Canada. Hard to get any sunlight when the entire country is a frozen wasteland for half the year. Electronic toothbrush. And if you really want to keep those chompers. Flossing. Taking 5000 IU of vitamin D3 per day. Have more energy now than I did 15 years ago. Working from home. I have a love-hate relationship with it. I'm very efficient at my job so I can spend a large portion of my workday doing things I want to instead of trying to look busy when my boss walks by. But I have my pantry and refrigerator at my disposal all day so I gained like 20 pounds. A few things. I try to express gratitude as often as possible. To myself and others. Stretch 2 to 3 minutes before bed every night. Replace things like I'm sorry I'm late with thank you for waiting for me for your patience. Create and hold firm boundaries with my loved ones and my work. Journal or do something else that makes me feel present in my body. Drink more water. And something silly. Whenever I get mad at someone for doing something like cutting me off in traffic I aggressively yell stuff like I hope you're having a good day and drive safely. So I still get that anger and frustration out while not harboring unnecessary ill will. Leaving a toxic workplace. Getting out of debt. Debt just feels like a prison. 9,000 steps a day. Throw in audiobooks and I'm improving mind and body. Using a good face cream every day in the shower. I wish I could tell my pimply teen self about face cream. As a pimply teen. Please elaborate. Quitting my day job and going freelance. More free time and more money. After about a year I even was working for old company on a regular basis for nearly triple the rate. What's your niche? Planting a vegetable garden. Therapy. I was always that person that was like I don't need it. There are people who are way worse than me. You. Yeah you. Yes. You do need therapy. And you deserve to get the help you need. Buying a Roomba. Particularly if you have pets. I'm a house cleaner and I got a Roomba because I couldn't deal with vacuuming 3/4s of my life away. 10/10 investment. Will only vacuum if I'm being paid for it. Face with tears of joy. Stopped watching and consuming national news. I was really into the tribalism and looking for all the ammo I could find. And here's the deal. They provide people like me with bullshit content 24/7. Walked away and have become such a better person. They profit by making people worry. Getting a cat. She's the best. Getting off heroin. Getting diagnosed with ADHD and getting treatment. I legit spent over 25 years of my life thinking a 24/7/365 rave going on in my head with over 2,000 people screaming and yelling different things at me and that one song I can never find the source of to turn it off was normal and not understanding why I found things like saying I'm going to go do, insert chore here, and then doing them immediately so hard. Turns out I don't have to sit on the couch for 6 hours trying to convince myself that this is the minute in which I'll go put my cup in the dishwasher and no. Emptying the trash can doesn't take half an hour, it takes 2 minutes. Neutral face. Divorce. I can't recommend it but I am happier than I have ever been. Spinach. Seriously. Eat more spinach. Put it on your sandwich. Put it in a smoothie. Eat a salad. Just find a way. Yep. Just get a big bag of fresh spinach and eat little handfuls along with your burger or pizza or whatever. It'll make you dump like a champion. Leaving the Southern Baptist Church. Immediately improved all aspects of my life. Started microdosing instead of taking SSRIs. It works so much better. Is insanely cheap. And I have a sex drive again. I also don't have horrific suicidal mood swings if I forget to dose for a day. Mind blowing that this is illegal. I had a dog die suddenly which sent me into a PTSD frenzy from when I had a daughter die suddenly. I was a wreck thinking I'd have to live through 2 fucking years of hard grief again. I had a counselor but decided to try a few weekends, 3-4 of microdosing. It totally pulled me out of that downward spiral. No regrets. Saying no. IDKY, but I used to be proud of never saying no. I was always getting hurt by people. Never had money. Always busy working on other people's problems and not my own. Then I had a child and learned to word no. Best decision ever. Now I just say no for the hell of it sometimes. My husband will say, "Can you get me something to drink?" And before I get up to make him a drink I will say hell no. I'm now proud and he is proud of me. I can't say I'd have learned I had a voice if it wasn't for him. He had a hard time with that as well and now we both help each other say no all the time. Focusing on things I actually have control over, as in my actions and choices, versus what others should do. Recently, I got into calorie counting to help with my weight loss. I used an app that made it really easy. I am finally seeing results and feeling better about myself, and I am also not stuck eating salads every day. Apologizing to someone I needed to apologize to. I had been in depressive episodes for literally 4 months straight, and I knew it was the right thing to do. After apologizing, I cried a bit then went to sleep. Every day after that I've been able to experience real joy and happiness again. The apology and forgiveness on their part led to forgiveness of myself on my part. And I was finally free. Greatest moment of my life right there. Cognitive behavioral therapy. Therapy and getting on 3. I didn't realize how much help I needed until I got it, and I am so much more emotionally stable with various tools to cope if some days are tougher than others. Started calling people on their bullshit a lot more, and those who didn't realize their bad behavior changed it, and those who didn't want to hear it faded into the background. It was nice to be surrounded by people who were willing to change toxic behavior and were willing to call me on mine when I was being a shitbag. I spent so much time letting people walk all over me and treat me like shit. But the second I started calling them on it, my life improved immensely. No more just stomaching mean comments. No more just accepting blatantly unfair work assignments. No more just picking up where others slacked. It gave me a real sense of agency to be able to just call people out and tell them no from time to time. Running out of fucks to give with situations I had stressed about for decades. It's truly amazing. Optimism. I stopped recently mopping over everything wrong with my life and focused on the positives. Highly recommend. Thanks to my boyfriend for me helping realize this. Exercise. I tried so hard to be into it for so long. I'd get on a program or get into a routine and it never lasted more than a month or so. When lockdown hit I figured I'd give it another try since I couldn't go out. Best decision ever. I lost 50 pounds. Gained so much stamina. Look the best I've ever looked in my life. And just generally feel so much better. I wish I had gone harder earlier. I'd be so much better off. Moving out of a dark basement apartment that I lived in for far too many years. Living with windows and natural light is a huge change in mental health. Menstrual cups. I don't know if I was in the right place to do it sooner. But man, I wasn't making a lot of money at the time. So it was financially such a relief. It was a relief to not think about my next toilet visit constantly and thinking about moisture as a huge warning sign. Not needing a bathroom nearby or getting behind at work because I had to change my pad tampon. It was a stress I didn't realize I was holding so much. Main draw was financial and those initial months were heady. But now it just feels so natural not to be buying something every month. Or stocking up for months ahead of time. It's gotta be what quitting cigarettes is like. Like why was I so dumb? Addicted to those silly white tubes of plant. Wearing earplugs in everyday life. I can still hear people talking to me. But my misophonia isn't triggered so much. And I don't get sensory overload anymore, either. Sleeping at least 6 to 7 hours a night makes all the difference. But I have to be diligent about it. If I stay up late a couple of nights it throws my whole sleep schedule off and I have to start from scratch. Discovering Reddit. This thread in particular looks more like a one person's diary rather than multiple contributions. It helps. Divorce. Honestly, a healthy dose of shrooms while being babysat by someone I trust wholeheartedly. My depression is much better. My anxiety is much better. My mood swings, due to BPD, are much less frequent, nearly non-existent. I had done shrooms years before, but the quality and dose were much less. I'm also back on medication to help with the depression, but I did notice a major improvement between the trip and restarting the meds. And being completely vulnerable during the trip and unpacking the trip with my husband once I sobered up was really good for our relationship. We're closer than ever. And with the movement for microdosing being a potential antidepressant treatment option if it gets approved in my lifetime, I know I would rather do that than take the meds I'm currently taking. Pets. My 2 cats have been amazing for my mental health. Focusing on the positive shit. It sounds so simple and cliche, but when you're sitting around self-loathing and being negative, it really doesn't help. Microdosing. Not having nightmares is a huge weight off me I never realized was there. Spotify. I've been using YouTube for my music for years and always got annoyed at the ads or music videos eating my cellular. Cut people off. Dread seeing them. Cut them off. Hate the way you feel around them. Cut them off. Do they talk down on you? Jealous? Disrespectful? Rude? Take advantage? Cut them off. Financial discipline and delaying gratification. Financial mistakes in my 20s are still haunting me years later because I didn't have enough of the former and didn't practice the latter. Learn to budget and learn to wait to get something later with savings instead of now with credit, and you'll save yourself a lot of stress later. First, by far, getting sober. Second, losing 100 pounds. The right medication for my intrusive thoughts from OCD. They started at 3. I didn't get the right treatment until I was 28. Got a job. Medication for addict. Became the person I've always wanted to be aged 47. Face with big pleading eyes. Not talking with toxic friends. Quitting all social media besides Reddit. This site helped me change career and find new hobbies. And due to the pandemic, it's my only daily connection to the world. I had my cataracts removed. I requested that the implants give me monovision, which means that one eye is for distance and the other for reading. My overall vision is corrected to 20/30. This means that I can legally drive without glasses, and don't need glasses to read. I see better than I have since I was a child. Ditching alcohol. Decluttering. When I moved into a house from an apartment, I accumulated so much stuff because I had the space. Over 2 years my family and I were properly lived in, but found that we just had a ton of stuff. Clothes, entertainment, utensils, furniture, etc. that we just did not need. Currently cleaning out all of that stuff and it feels so good to have a plan. Taking magnesium supplement 3 days before I start my cycle. Completely takes away the pain from cramps, and I used to be bedridden in pain for 2 days every time. Retiring and getting a dog. He is a rescue dog and has lots of physical and emotional issues. He is terrified of people and animals, so I need to be calm to help him stay calm. That's given me a reason to not let life bother me too much. I got laser eyes 7 months ago, aka LASIK. I get to wake up and see for free. Can't believe some people just live like this their whole lives. Edit, spelling. Sadly, better vision didn't help my typing skills. Stopping going to family holidays. Selling my condo and moving onto a boat. Moving downtown and leaving the suburbs forever. Ending my toxic as fuck marriage. Hip replacement. Should have done it before I retired from the army. Oh well. It way improved my bowling average. Divorce lol. Seriously though, my ex-husband was so bad for my mental health. Always putting me down. Making me feel like crap and uneasy in my own home. Ignored my depression and pretended it wasn't happening. Gaslighting me when I confronted him about having emotional affairs with other women. Wish I never got married in the first place and listened to my gut when it was telling me not to go through with it. I got treatment for my plantar fasciitis. Cortisone shots and orthotics. It has vastly improved my quality of life. Buying my own espresso machine. Life changing. Paying $2,000 to get the hair on my legs permanently removed. Literally the best thing I have done for myself. Not getting a period anymore. I have endometriosis and another chronic illness that would flare up when I was menstruating. Absolutely changed my life. Deleting Facebook. Not drinking alcohol will change your life. Notion, it's a rap website to help organize your life. I love it so much, I use it every day. Got rid of abusive relationships, toxic friendships. I was always the guy who put way too much effort into the people who I cared about because I was afraid of losing them. The most recent daggers in the back definitely helped me realize that it's okay to be selfish sometimes and that it's okay to lose shitty people. Since realizing that and cutting the bad fruit from the tree, I've been much happier. Quit my job. Having a good space heater during winters. A meal subscription. I would spend so much of my week anxious about what to eat, tiptoeing around my partners and my pickiness, grocery shopping, and cooking. A weight was lifted when I started using a subscription even just 3 nights a week. Bluetooth headphones. No more ripping my head off when I suddenly get up. Stopping drinking. Every time I do it, everything gets better. Until I do it again. 50-something days so far this time. And counting. I quit drinking and smoking. I'm 1 year sober and my life is so much better. I was at rock bottom, about to lose everything. I had a severe problem with alcohol for almost 20 years. I really should have quit years ago. The cigarettes were just icing on the cake. They weren't really affecting my life that much. I was a light smoker for 3 years, but it's nice having the peace of mind not having to worry about my health down the road. Getting my wisdom teeth out. Got to the point I didn't eat much due to pain of chewing. My first steak afterwards was the most delicious meal ever. Rhinoplasty for a severely deviated septum that I thought was a chronic infection. For years I couldn't breathe from my nose. I now breathe and sleep like a baby. Learning to cook. Saves money. Saves time. Better health. Adopt a dog. This will get buried, but cognitive behavior therapy, CBT. It reduces anxiety and depression by changing the way you think to change the way you feel. That critic is a piece of shit. Abilify. Taking a 30-minute walk first thing every single morning. Getting divorced. And staying single. Getting divorced. Meeting my wife. Divorced. Impersonating Santa at the mall. LASIK surgery. Retinal. Volunteering for youth groups. Working with nature rather than computers. Getting a decent mattress. You spent a third of your life sleeping. It's worth every penny. I finally got a purple mattress after my pain specialist and orthopedist suggested it, and I feel like I wasted years of my life not getting the quality sleep I deserved. Psyllium husk supplement. Seriously, just try it. Living on my own. LASIK, holy cow. Game changer. I forgot it was even a thing until I was talking to my boss at the time one day, talking about how I hated to wear glasses with my motorcycle helmet. He tells me to just get LASIK. He did it a while back and still had great vision. So amazing. I'm on 7 years since I did it. Still perfect. I wish more people would look into it from a reputable doctor with the latest tech.